Hello and welcome to another episode of the Rockland Roundtable. I'm Jenna Nazario, Director of Economic Development, Tourism, and Film.
And I'm Beth Cefalu, the County Strategic Communications Director. And we have some very special guests today. Some of my favorite guests, actually, from our Division of Environmental Resources. We'll let you two introduce yourselves.
Kevin McGuinness. I'm the Coordinator of Environmental Resources for the county.
And I'm Scott Flanagan. I'm the Park Operations Manager for the County of Rockland.
So at first, let's just start. What is the Division of Environmental Resources for the county, and what scope do you cover?
Sure. Besides operating the parks, which is Scott's day-to-day role, we also manage the Open Space Acquisition Program, the Environmental Management Council, and the Ag and Farmland Preservation Board.
How do you guys like working for the Division of Environmental Resources? It must be so much fun.
It's great. I mean, we're very lucky to come to work every day and be able to work outdoors. It's literally a dream job for us.
Very snowy 2 feet weather, snow.
Yes.
You still enjoy it? All
Absolutely.
right. Who paid you to say that?
It comes with the job. You're prepared for it. When you're prepared for it, it's not so bad.
Yeah.
Very good. All right. So again, we really want to thank you for coming. I think open space is a really big thing in Rockland County, and just from a tourism perspective, it's one of the things that we sell the biggest to tourists: open space, hiking, trails.
And it's also why a lot of people choose to live here because of all the open space, all the parks. Exactly. They love it. Yeah.
Yes. So can you talk about some of the open space? Now, I know we have around between 32 and 42,000 acres of open space in Rockland, but how much of it is actually county-owned property?
Yeah, so the majority of that is state park land, but still, Rockland County has been acquiring properties and adding to their park system for over 40 years. And this past year, we added 350 acres additional parkland, which was a net increase of over 10%, bringing us to just about 3,600 acres of county parkland.
That's amazing. I can't even believe that.
And it's even more amazing when you realize the development going on in Rockland County. That I feel with the open space program, I'm kind of competing with developers to get to the land first.
Yeah.
But that's a really good point, because there's a balance between the two, right? Obviously, we know we need to develop, but we also need to preserve our natural resources and habitats and have that open space. So you mentioned the open space program. Can you go into more details about that?
Sure. The program was started in 1999 to, again, acquire additional parkland and preserve particularly very special ecosystems, the Palisades Ridge, Hudson River waterfront, and other properties of high ecological value. And so the county will designate a certain amount of funds and open the program, accept nominations from anybody in the county for a piece of property. We will take those. We'll first contact the property owner and make sure they're willing to sell. And if so, then the Open Space Committee, which is made up of representatives from various departments, go out, and we actually have a scoring sheet to each property and rank each individual property, then tally them up, and we start with the highest ranking property, get an appraisal, negotiate a deal with the owner or not, and then move down until we expend all the funds. And this year, as I believe you're aware, we had the open space, or the last couple of years, the open space funds bolstered by ARPA funds.
Yes, yeah, which gave us more opportunity to buy some beautiful pieces of property.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, in 2025, we bought the Eagle Valley Assemblage. Can you talk a little bit about that property? Because
That was a big one.
I think it was the biggest one in open space acquisition history.
Yeah, and one of the largest remaining undeveloped parcels in the county. So it's not only large, 236 acres. It's made up of 3 separate properties, so it was a lot of work. Thankfully, we're partnered with the Open Space Institute, who really first identified this opportunity and then worked very hard to work with us to make it reality, which really we completed in the fall, which is terrific. So it's not only large, but it's also ecologically important. It's the headwaters of the Ramapo Aquifer, which provides Rockland County with about a third of our drinking water. But it's also spectacularly beautiful land with some awesome ridges, as well as this 16-acre Delaney swamp in it, and it's really beautiful.
It is. It's gorgeous. I've seen the pictures, and I remember when you first came to talk to me about the property, I was so excited about it because I am a huge outdoor lover and nature lover, and I was just, it's hard to imagine that we preserve something so large and beautiful.
Yeah.
Prior to us acquiring it, were people able to hike around it, or?
So it was subject to numerous attempts to develop it, which thankfully didn't come to fruition. But as we're aware, the local residents did have a little bit of parkland on their own. A lot of ATV usage, dirt bike usage, which we're going to have to try to halt.
Manage a little bit more. Yeah.
And a lot of hunting. And that's a good thing and a bad thing in that Scott, one of the first times we were out there, noticed how much ground vegetation there was. And he's like, something's keeping the deer population down. And it turns out it was some of the neighbors.
Yeah, it's a very special property. As soon as you step into it, it's like stepping into a different world. Or, you feel like you're up in the Catskills or up in Maine or somewhere in New England. It's really not what you picture here in Rockland County, so it's really special.
So that brings up a good point. So our open space all looks very different, right? And that I didn't even know this existed, and now I feel like I need to go hike and walk around because that just sounds idyllic and perfect and maybe picture, Instagram worthy, as we like to say. But talk about the different properties that we've acquired and the different parks that we maintain, because most county parks are passive parks, right? Not active.
Correct. Yep. Most of our parks are passive.
And maybe let's talk about the difference.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
I've been in this position 2 years, but long prior to that, it was kind of a conscious decision by the county to focus primarily on passive recreation and leave the more active recreation to the towns, such as pools and golf courses, tennis courts, things like that. So we do not operate any of those. And part of that now, as the county's become this built up and developed, is also equity. I mean, if we were to build a pool somewhere in one town, then the other 4 towns would be saying, hey, where's mine? And things like that. So,
you don't want to be a lifeguard?
Yeah. No. Scott's got plenty of experience with pools. Yeah, he managed Rockland Lakes Pool, which is the largest pool in New York State.
Oh, no way.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
It's definitely one of the busiest. So we're happy doing the passive recreation. That's what we specialize in. We're providing good opportunities for the residents of the county, any visitors that come in, and currently that's what we're going to maintain.
But to the different types of parks, Jenna, if you don't mind, I can. So there's things like Eagle Valley, which is terrific, as we've just described. Then very different from that, but equally valuable is something like Havistraw Bay Park, which is one of the more active in that it's beautiful open terrain right on the Hudson River, which is a rare resource that there is. And it's developed to be a really nice location for the residents to come and picnic, et cetera, with grills and coverage in the pavilion. And it does have a couple playgrounds, so there's a little bit that's about the most active recreation
And
we have.
there's some memorials there too, right?
Yes, there is. The Gulf War and the 9/11 memorials are there as well.
Oh, they are such gorgeous memorials.
Yeah.
The county did a really great job
They
constructing
did.
those.
They
They
did.
did.
But then you can balance those two with the fact that we also own 3 farms, the Erickson Farm in Muncie, the Cropsey Farm in New City, and newly acquired and not yet fully open to the public is the Depew Farm in northern New City. And that's another unique and really terrific preservation effort because the owners, it's been a farm since the 1700s. The owners wanted it to remain agricultural. They could have easily sold it to developers, 4-acre zoning, and made more than we were able to acquire it for. But thankfully, that's not what they wanted. So we've been able to preserve this beautiful 32-acre farm, but only about half of it is farmland. A lot of it's forested wetlands, and also the headwaters of water draining into Lake DeForest, which is our surface water reservoir, which is another third of Rockland County's drinking water supply. But also beautiful farmland, a early 1700s Dutch sandstone farmhouse. And the nomination form actually said, made of locally quarried sandstone. I was kind of like, how do they know that? Well, walking back in the 12 acres of woods in the back, I found the actual outcropping and pits where the owner identified and quarried the stone to build the
That
houses.
is so
that's
crazy.
incredible. Wow.
And so we're planning to do similar educational opportunities at the Pew in the future as we do at Cropsey. And last year we used our Conservation Corps folks to build a walking trail around it that goes past those quarries. So we'll be able to take the kids and actually show them not only where their produce comes from, but that somebody back in the early 1700s said, hey, this is not only where I want to build my farm and grow my crops, but I can start quarrying the sandstone and build my house.
Yeah.
And, kids today will be blown away by that.
Yeah, and so I think that also brings up a good point. So we're acquiring all of this open space that we're preserving. What's next for those properties? Will they stay as is? Will they be developed into parks? Like, what's kind of the? I know you don't have a concrete plan yet, but like, what's the idea, the vision of the future for these properties?
Scott and I love the fact that we've been handed the opportunity to develop a brand new standalone park like Eagle Valley, but we were also a little bit intimidated by it. But what's, again, our partnership with the Open Space Institute, I only learned 6 or 8 months ago that they actually have parks development staff, and there was some extra money in the deal available that they are using that to start the park planning process.
Oh, that's awesome.
We identified a grant opportunity a couple months ago for $900,000 for park planning and construction. They engaged a subcontractor who actually builds trails, and we already have a whole broad park design, trail network plan, and rough costing that went into this grant. So if we can get the $900,000 grant, which will be later this spring or summer, I believe.
Yeah, I believe it was April.
We can be well into construction later this summer and into the fall on a brand new park.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah. That's awesome.
So let's talk about parks and what it takes to maintain them. So what is your day-to-day?
Sure. So our day-to-day, our staff, we got to do everything from make sure the grounds are well kept, make sure the bathrooms are well maintained, make sure the pavilions are clean and ready for usage by permit holders. We got to take care of hazardous trees throughout the parks. We have security and ranger staff who have to enforce park rules. So that's almost a round-the-clock job. There's a lot that goes into it behind the scenes too. We have office staff to handle all the permitting. It's a very, very long list of things that we have to do in a short amount of time, and we accomplish them the best we can.
And Scott talks about enforcing park rules. We don't frequently have as much snow as we did, and we found an issue that it turns out isn't unique just to Rockland County, but for some reason we have several parks that people like to walk their dogs in, and for some reason they think the snow means they don't have to pick up after their dog.
Oh my gosh, yes, that has been a problem this winter everywhere.
So we've had to stay on top of that. So.
Be careful when the snow melts and I'm walking.
Yes.
I'll keep my eyes peeled.
Little present.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So our staff are out there frequently reminding dog walkers that they should. And all of our parks, we provide free plastic bags and waste receptacles. So really not much of an excuse just because there's snow on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
No.
And what's unique about county parks is open to all,
Correct.
free for all, right? Sun
Correct.
up, sundown, all that good stuff.
Correct. Yep. We have no residency requirements. We do require permits for groups 12 and larger.
Okay.
We have a community pass program now on our webpage where people can apply for permits through over the internet, and we can approve them that way. And that will help them ensure that when they come to the park with their larger group, or if they're getting a pavilion, that they won't have any problems. We also make them aware of the rules before they come so that they're not caught by surprise, possibly doing something that they want to do but aren't allowed to. So it's been working out really well.
Okay. And how many calls do you get about town and village and state parks that we don't own? Do people get often confused?
We get a lot of them.
Okay,
Yeah.
so which ones are the most popular where they think we own them?
We get a lot of calls for Rockland Lake just because Rockland County and Rockland Lake sounds so familiar. But we get calls too a lot for Zucker Park over in New City because it's adjacent to
it's
Kennedy
next to it.
Dells.
Yeah.
So
They think it's
sometimes a little
ours.
confusion there. you know, myself and the other staff in the office are pretty well versed, so we know how to route the calls to whoever they may need to go to.
Okay. Well, that's good.
I know we always get tons of confusion in the county exec's office. People are always calling for something that's the towns or the villages
Sure.
or the states. 90% of the time, it's never the county question that they're
Complaining
calling
that the
about.
roads aren't paved when they're
State roads.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The big one.
That's
We're
a
going to have a
popular
whole
one.
discussion on that, Kevin. You're welcome to join that one, too.
Yeah. So we can sympathize there.
Yeah, so let's go back to farms because I feel like I hear often, I'm not going to disclose my age, but I haven't been here that long, but I hear Rockland used to be all farms, and now we don't have as many. So could you give us a history of Rockland
Sure.
farms and where we are today?
Sadly, what you just said, Jenna, is very true. Before the Tappan Zee Bridge was built, Rockland County had over 18,000 acres of agricultural land in over 800 farms. Unfortunately, today, we are down to about 6, and that's less than 300 total acres.
Wow.
So that's why
Wow.
something like saving Depew, besides it being unique and an awesome piece of property, that's 10% of the remaining agricultural land.
And our history.
Yeah.
When you think about it that way, it's the history of the county.
And, you know, what Dr. Davies has proven, which is one of the few successful independent farms, is agritourism. There's so much opportunity there, which is great for the
Yeah.
whole county. And
People love
there's
it.
only a few.
People love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do.
But
They
we've
come-
lost so much.
Yeah, they come from all over to go apple picking to
Hay
just,
rides,
experience it.
cider
Peaches.
donuts.
Yeah, oh, those donuts.
Yes, those are the best
We
part.
always pivot to food, just so you know. There is always a reference to some sort
Yeah.
of food.
Or except in
this
Cropsey,
conversation.
Iggy the Piggy.
Oh, Iggy.
Oh my gosh, Iggy the
So yeah,
Piggy.
let's talk about
the animals.
Yeah, the differences in the farms. So you've got Cropsey,
Yes.
that's got the animals and education, and then Depew.
Which
and
will be similar.
okay, so so talk about what are some of the things that you can expect when you go to the farms.
So actually, our Rockland Community Farm Network, who's our licensee to operate Cropsey and is starting to operate at Depew now. Actually, today is doing one of the first maple syruping programs in the
Yay,
county.
that's so exciting.
By the county, I mean. Scott and I actually came up with the opportunity last year using Scott's ability to identify maple trees. I'm still learning that. And we just tapped a few just to see how it worked and things, and it worked. So Sue Ferreri, who runs...
So they're going to start making maple
syrup,
syrup now
yeah.
here.
Yes.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, that's
It's
amazing.
in progress already.
But
That is
yeah,
great.
so unfortunately, she just got set up over the last snow was in the way. She overcame that. And what I've learned in my brief experience with maple sugaring is the ideal time to produce this sap are warm days, cold nights. And after tonight or last night, where we may not get the nights that are cold enough to produce enough sap, but she definitely got her feet wet, no pun intended, with the equipment, and we're working out things. And she is going to start boiling the sap that they have gotten, and then be really ready to go full bore next year.
So
That is
Sunday
awesome.
brunch at the farm.
Sounds
I'll
good to
bring
me.
my
Yeah.
waffles,
Actually, I would love a
sure.
Sunday brunch at the farm. That would be so much fun.
But yeah, okay, so we can expect a little walking path at Depew, the maple syrup, what else? And then we'll go back to Cropsey.
Yeah, we're still working on what agriculture work there. We're, again, working with the Rockland Community Farm Network. And I do want to add one thing. I also manage the Soil Water Conservation District, which is important. And when we're talking about the farmland, one of the things that they are working with the farms that the county owns, as well as the privately owned farms, is a state program that provides support for the few remaining agricultural. So that's the AEM program, and our great Soil Water Conservation District is helping our local farms with that.
That's great.
That is great, yeah.
Again, all about natural resources. There's such a balance between the two.
Do you two have a favorite park?
Oh,
Eagle Valley right now.
Yeah.
Valley, okay.
Eagle Valley's on top of the list right now, but Data Mountain's a close second.
Oh, Data. You know that was the most Googled hiking
Yes.
trail.
Wow.
Yep.
Yes,
believe
did
it.
not know.
Yes, Data Mountain Park. Yeah.
You know, I actually haven't hiked in Rockland. I need to go.
You need to. We'll
Yeah.
take you out
I'll
one
go
day.
with, I should go with you
Yeah.
guys. You can
Yeah.
be my hiking guides.
Pick a really snowy day.
Which, you know, we've done hikes, guided hikes in the past.
Yeah.
We just started last year, and we're going to do
in
more this year.
2025, yeah. How did they do the guided hikes? And if people, what would you say to people at home about the guided hikes?
Oh, it's great. I've learned in past activities that there's a lot of people out there who would like to get out in the parks, but they're not willing to do it independently necessarily. Kind of want a guide, and people loved them. They
We got really good feedback from them.
Yeah. So
worked
we
out really
definitely
well.
are, once things warm up a little bit, we will run that program.
Where do you post that? Do you post it on your
Social media.
Social
Okay,
media,
all right.
yeah.
All right, I'm signing up. So just tell me when. I'll go with you because I had heard about them, but I didn't get to join.
And I want to mention one other recent new addition that I think the residents of Rockland will benefit from is we've had a long time our South Mountain County Park, which is part of the Palisades Ridge, and the long path runs across that. But it's been from County Highway in New City to Pomona at Gurney, right by 202. And it's literally just a linear park with parking on each end, and all you could do would be go up and back. But this year we acquired 15 acres of land in the middle. It's on South Mountain Road. And Conservation Corps last year built two trails that come up and diverge and connect to the long path. And our staff currently are building a small parking area there, which will be ready this spring for hikers to come park and be able to do what's basically about a 3 mile.
Yeah, about 3 miles.
That's awesome. Are there other additions or things that people can look forward to in the coming years that you know?
Eagle
like,
Valley
just
and
like that?
are the primary ones right
Yeah.
now, I think. But it's great because when you're up on the ridge on a clear day, you can see the New York City skyline.
Yes, I remember you
wow.
sending those pictures to us.
And there's
amazing.
also, which isn't rare, but it's special, I think, a very large patch of prickly pear cactus, which most people don't think that New York has a native cactus.
Yes,
but
you
it
sent us
does.
pictures of
And
those.
if you get there at the right time in April or early May,
You can
they
eat it,
bloom.
right?
Well, no, they actually bloom.
They bloom.
Beautiful yellow flowers, but
Okay.
they last only like 2 or 3 days.
Okay.
I was like, I don't know if I need it.
My
I
dad
see
eats
mushrooms
prickly
all the
pears,
time.
so I thought like you can pick them right off, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
wow.
after they blossom.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's so funny that we
cool.
have those here.
Yeah, I feel like every time you take a little scenic view of Rockland and you do a hike or you go on a hike, you find something new, whether it be like a flower or I see
Sure.
tons of mushrooms, different kinds of mushrooms that everyone's always intrigued. I'm like, please, I don't need to try and resuscitate someone right now. I have no idea if that's a healthy mushroom or not. But what do you guys like? Again, you found the prickly pear. What else have you just kind of discovered as we've acquired these properties?
Or any unique things at
Yeah.
the parks that maybe people might find fascinating at home.
Well, if anything comes to mind, if not, I have some.
It's just always a unique experience for everyone that goes there. You're going out into an area that you haven't been before, so you have that kind of feeling of exploring, new grounds. And then there's apps now available on your phone that you can go out and any plant that's growing out there, any bug or caterpillar that's crawling around, you can take your phone and use the app and identify what it is. And then you start getting this collection of images and species on your phone, and you can really start becoming more of a naturalist.
And for bird songs also.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yes.
Man, technology's amazing.
It's a lot easier with the app than carrying around the field guides.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know. Have you
yeah.
seen the apps, the astrology ones? You just look
Yeah.
up
Oh,
and
yeah.
it shows you
Jeez,
every
yeah.
single constellation and star. It's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what's the most interesting animal you've encountered in one of our parks?
Without terrifying people.
No, they were all friendly animals, but maybe that's why I
right.
said interesting.
They invited them over for coffee.
I've encountered full span, really.
Yeah. We have bears, but they're not common, or at least not where people are frequently. So
Yeah.
I don't think our users need to worry too much about bears. There are venomous snakes, but again, not common. Rattlesnakes.
I
as-
would have never known that we had
Yeah.
venomous snakes
Yeah.
in Rockland County.
Yeah, I've come across several.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. Okay.
On the trails?
Yeah.
This is why I need a
Yes.
guided hike.
Yeah, that's why it's important to always watch where you're stepping.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Not only to prevent the twisted ankle, but to make sure you don't step on anyone that doesn't want to be stepped on.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
That's a good point. What are some like hiking rules? Like if I'm a novice, which I would say I am, what do you suggest?
Dress appropriately, have water, know where you're going, let someone know where you're going.
Okay.
That's
yes.
number one.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
But yeah, know the hike in that level of difficulty versus your fitness. That's the thing that will frequently get people into trouble.
Yeah.
They think they've got time before the sun sets, or that it's not that physically demanding, and then they get out there. And
That's happened to me before where I went with a group somewhere and one of the people just wasn't able to keep up with the hike. And it was taking us so long to get back down the cliff, whatever you want to call it, that it was pitch dark.
Yeah.
You know, but you can't leave them there. You know?
Yes.
And we were starting to get cold. I was like, oh my gosh, this is taking us forever. But you really have to know the hike that you're doing and that you can actually do the hike.
Yeah.
Planning ahead is very important.
Yes.
Yeah. And what is our most popular park?
Oh, that's a good question.
So I would say our most popular park is Haverstraw Bay Park.
Oh, I would say that one's my favorite, actually.
That gets a lot of usage in the spring, summer, and fall. It slows down in the winter. Another very popular park is Kennedy Dells. That's consistently busy.
Oh, that one's so
it doesn't
nice.
doesn't really get as much of the crowd as Haverstraw Bay, but consistently throughout the day and throughout the year, people are coming there. They're walking their dogs. We have a really nice dog run there, so it's very popular. It's right in the middle of a new city, so it's surrounded by neighborhoods, so it's a quick and easy place for people to get to and go for a walk.
over the last year and a half, we've upgraded the dog runs at Kakiak and Kennedy to include a small and larger dog separate areas.
Oh,
So
excellent.
That's appreciated by the dog.
It is.
users.
I have a
Yes.
small dog, so I
Yeah.
can say that I appreciate small
And
dog areas.
Jenna, guess what we are going to be announcing when the weather gets warm? We're going to have a ribbon cutting for the brand new fitness trail at Kennedy Dells. It
I'm
was installed
excited.
Oh,
right
that's so
before the snow
exciting.
fell.
I am
That's
so excited because you know
exciting.
those wood ones were. I was getting splinters. Okay,
Yeah.
and like
No, all
It just makes you
new.
that
tougher,
was
Jenna.
my
It makes you
excuse
tougher.
to not work out. So I'm really actually now not excited that you did that because now I have no reason not to do it. So yes,
Talk about some of the equipment that people can expect.
Sure, it's pretty basic stuff, but it's I don't know the exact distance, but over a course of about a mile of not really lovely trail in Kennedy Dells are 18 stations that range from just simple stretching. There's the right piece of equipment for you to sit on or do whatever the task is, and then a sign describing what it is. So it may be as simple as stretching your calves or something to sit-ups, to pull-ups, et cetera, et cetera.
It is. And I get a lot of these questions. Where can we find the best water features in our open space?
Well, Haverstraw Bay Park again is right on the Hudson River.
Sure. Yeah.
So if
That's
you,
cheating. Okay, that was an obvious answer. Okay.
But it also has 3 fishing piers and a clay pit pond on site, so you can get really nice water feature views without going on the river. And it's got fishing opportunity. We recently put an aerator in there to help keep the oxygen level high in the pond, to promote a healthy pond environment. There's a lot to see down there. Another really nice place for a water feature is Demorest Kill Park in New City. It's got a little pond there. That's really nice. It's a quick, short walk, also very popular with dog walkers. And recently we opened up a connecting path between Demorest Kill and Dutch Garden that runs along the Demorest Kill, which is a really nice stream. So that's also a very nice walk if you're looking for a water feature.
It is very nice. It's behind
And
our
Buttermilk
building.
Falls in
Yes.
West Nyack.
Yes,
It's a lovely waterfall when right after a good rainstorm. It does tend to dry up, but and hopefully this summer we're looking to improve. Right now the trail takes you kind of to the top of the falls. We want to improve access to actually get to the very bottom of the falls as well.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, make a great backdrop for a photo.
Now you're thinking tourism. I like it.
That's
Scott.
it.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah, for Instagram, Facebook.
Yeah, exactly. Well, as we wrap up, I think I do love open space. I love that Rockland has so much of it. I think it's really, as Beth stated, why people move here, why companies invest in here, because you really get that balance of everything, get a little bit of everything while you're here. What do you want people to take away from this?
Let me just hit on one point, Jenna, just on appreciating the outdoors.
Yeah.
When COVID hit,
Oh, yeah.
park usage basically doubled everywhere, state level, county, municipal. Since we've recovered from that, the usage has only dropped by about half. So that means we've had a 50% sustained of people who found the parks during COVID and had said who weren't using them previously and are continuing to use them. So the residents of Rockland County are appreciating these open spaces and parks even more.
Honestly, everyone does, because during the nice months and like warm summer days, they always are closing because they get packed and busy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a source of contention on social media, but
Well, it's funny. I
People
always
love
know the weather's getting nice here. I see more bike riders. I see more walkers. I'm like, oh, we're going to have a good day today. So what would you like people to take from this about, your passion for the parks, for open space, why Rockland commits itself to it so much?
Just the fact that it's so easily accessible, so close to the largest city in the world, New York City, and the ability to not only get away from the city, but get away from the highways and other busy roads and immerse yourself in places of complete solitude where you would never know you're this close to the city.
no.
I like that.
And it's so
Good
peaceful when you
answer.
do it.
Yeah.
Yep. And our parks are scattered all throughout the county. So every township, there's a park nearby where people can go escape their day-to-day headaches, sit back, enjoy nature, and relax. And we welcome all our residents to come out.
And we'll be doing a guided hike and publicizing on social media to Scott's point about the diversity of the locations of our parks. An underutilized park is Muncie Glen in Muncie, right by Route 59, and the thruway actually goes right over it. But it is a glen, and it's got which is kind of uncommon throughout the county.
What's a glen?
Yeah, what's a glen?
A valley.
It's a valley.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like,
Sorry.
you're using words I don't know.
But it's got mountain laurel, big stands of it that will be blooming in May, later in May, and it's spectacular when things are in bloom. So we're going to do a guided hike right when everything's in bloom.
Oh,
And
great.
encourage people to
Perfect.
get to a park they probably don't get to very frequently.
Great. That's awesome. Well, is there anything else you two would want to add before we go?
I think we covered it all.
No?
I think we covered a lot.
A lot of it, yeah.
I think you're going to
did.
get a lot of people on your guided hikes now,
Excellent.
so
I
be
hope so.
prepared.
I hope so too.
And hopefully less phone calls about town and state parks. But,
no, those will keep going.
Yeah, most
okay.
likely.
We welcome them.
Most likely.
People who want to get outside.
Exactly.
That's
Exactly.
okay.
You'll encourage it no matter what, right?
Gotta appreciate the curiosity. It is.
Yes. All right. Well, thank you both so much
Yeah.
for
Thank you.
coming.
Thank
We
you for
so
having us.
appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
And
Appreciate
as
it.
you know, Eagle Valley starts to transition into something even bigger, we'll have you back on.
That's
and,
great.
yeah,
We
and
have
maybe
to.
we'll even
you
take the
updates.
podcast on the road.
Absolutely.
And we'll
That'd be
podcast from there.
That won't be a hurdle at all.
No, we'll figure it out.
Very simple. All right. Well, and that's another episode of the Rockland Roundtable. We'll see you next time.